Your son is learning how to be a man by watching you, not by listening to what you say, not by hearing your advice, but by observing how you treat his mother every single day. He notices the tone of your voice when you speak to her. He notices whether you listen or interrupt. He notices how you respond when you're tired, stressed, or frustrated. And most importantly, he notices what you don't say. He learns what respect looks like by watching how you show it. He learns what patience looks like by watching how often you lose it. He learns what love looks like by watching how safe his mother feels around you. You may think he's too young, too distracted, too busy with his own world, but he's watching. He's watching how you disagree. He's watching how you recover after conflict. And he's watching whether kindness disappears when pressure enters the home. And one day, quietly, he will carry those lessons into his own relationships. Not the lessons you intended to teach, the lessons you modeled. This is why discipline at home is never just personal. It's generational. A man who treats his wife with steadiness is teaching his son what strength actually looks like. Not loud control, not dominance, but calm, consistent leadership, shown in the smallest, most ordinary moments. And those moments never go unnoticed. Respect is not something your son learns from lectures. He learns it long before words are ever explained. He learns respect in how you speak to your wife when no one is listening, in whether your tone changes when you're tired, in whether frustration turns into sharpness or stays contained. Children don't study instructions. They study patterns. And the pattern your son absorbs most clearly is how a man treats the woman he lives with. If he sees dismissal, he learns dismissal. If he sees sarcasm, he learns distance. If he sees silence used as punishment, he learns withdrawal. But if he sees calm under pressure, he learns control. If he sees firmness without cruelty, he learns strength. If he sees consistency, even on hard days, he learns stability. This is how character is transferred, not through speeches, through repetition. As a disciplined man understands this deeply, his marriage is a classroom. Every conversation teaches something. Every disagreement sets a standard. Every repair after conflict shows what responsibility looks like. You don't need to be perfect, but you do need to be intentional. Because one day your son will speak to a woman he loves using the same emotional language he grew up hearing. And when that happens, he won't remember what you told him to do. He'll remember what you showed him was normal. That is how respect becomes legacy. Quietly, daily, without announcement. Your son doesn't learn most from peaceful days. He learns from tension, from the moments when voices could rise, but don't. From the moments when stress enters the home and changes the air. Conflict is where your discipline is tested, and it is where your son pays closest attention. He watches how you respond when you feel misunderstood. He watches whether anger controls your mouth or your restraint does. He watches if disagreement turns into intimidation, withdrawal, or calm firmness. Because conflict reveals truth. A man who explodes teaches fear. A man who shuts down teaches avoidance. A man who stays present, steady, and respectful teaches strength that doesn't need volume. Your son learns whether pressure is something to dominate others with or something to carry responsibly. He learns if masculinity means force or self-control. And this lesson is absorbed quietly long before he has words for it. This is why the strongest men do not win arguments. They protect the environment. They understand that how they handle disagreement becomes the emotional climate of the home. A disciplined man chooses containment over chaos, clarity over cruelty, repair over ego. And when your son grows older, this blueprint becomes automatic. He won't think, "What would my father say?" He will act how his father acted. This is how leadership transfers, not through dominance, but through composure under pressure. Before your son ever falls in love, he studies yours, not consciously, but deeply. Your marriage becomes his first reference point for what love looks like in real life. He learns whether love feels safe or unstable, whether affection disappears under stress, whether closeness survives difficult seasons. He watches how you enter the room. He watches whether your presence brings ease or tension. He watches if his mother's shoulders relax when you speak. This is where love is defined, not as romance, but as environment. A disciplined man understands something critical. Love is not proven in good moments. It is revealed in ordinary ones, in how you greet your wife at the end of the day, in how you speak when nothing is going your way, in whether respect remains when convenience is gone. If your son grows up seeing love paired with unpredictability, he will learn to brace himself. If he sees love paired with silence and distance, he will learn to detach. But if he sees love paired with steadiness, he will learn trust. This is how boys learn what to expect and what to accept. One day your son will choose a partner, and without realizing it, he will search for what feels familiar. This is why your marriage is not private. It is formative. A calm, respectful marriage teaches a son that love does not need chaos to be real, that strength can be gentle, that leadership can be quiet, and that safety is the foundation of intimacy. Children don't grow up copying what is exceptional. They copy what is normal. Your son is not memorizing the rare moments when you are especially kind or especially harsh. He is absorbing the average, the daily tone, the emotional baseline of your home. What you normalize becomes his standard. If criticism is normal, he will criticize. If sarcasm is normal, he will use it. If emotional distance is normal, he will recreate it. But if respect is normal, he will carry respect forward. If calm is normal, he will bring calm into future homes. If accountability is normal, he will take responsibility without being told. This is why discipline must be consistent, not dramatic. A disciplined man does not rely on mood. He relies on principle. He understands that love expressed only on good days does not teach stability. Stability is taught by repetition, by showing up the same way whether the day went well or not. Your son is learning what kind of behavior is tolerated, what kind is corrected, and what kind is protected. And one day, when he becomes a husband himself, he will recreate what felt normal growing up. Not because he chose it carefully, but because it feels familiar. This is how patterns survive generations. Breaking them, or strengthening them, starts with what you allow to be ordinary today. One day, your son will become a man. And when he does, he will not remember most of what you told him. He will remember how it felt to grow up in your home. He will remember whether respect was stable, whether love was safe, whether strength was calm or explosive. And much of that memory will trace back to one thing: how you treated his mother. Not perfectly, but consistently. A disciplined man understands this responsibility clearly. He knows that his wife is not just his partner. She is part of his son's education. Every tone, every reaction, every repair after failure. All of it teaches. You don't need to perform masculinity. You don't need to dominate to be strong. You don't need to raise your voice to lead. You need to be steady. Because steadiness teaches a boy how to carry power without abuse, how to love without fear, how to lead without noise. And one day when your son stands in his own home, his behavior will feel natural to him. Not because he studied it, but because he lived inside it. This is the quiet weight of fatherhood. And this is why how you treat your wife teaches your son everything.